Yes. Make sure you hop on my promotional service. You can promote your music, your brand, interview, or product across my network. That's in my YouTube community, my Doggie Diamonds TV Instagram stories, my Doggie Diamonds Threads account, and my Twitter, aka X. Only $400. You get all of that for $1. I know it's a lot of up and coming artists out there. Y'all need to get seen and heard too, but y'all ain't got the funding like that. A little light buck ain't never did nothing to nobody. You know what I'm saying? A little light buck ain't never did nothing to
That's
nobody.
a fact.
So let's go. Yes, I am here. My name is Doggie Diamonds. Introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, yo, check this out, right? You know what I'm saying? This the God Akskills, you know what I'm saying? Straight from Far Rock, America. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, I want to give a strong big up to my man Doggie Diamonds, you know what I'm saying, for having me on the platform. You know, we've been fucks with the God heavy.
Right.
You know, strong big up to the whole Edgemere PJs, you know what I'm saying? Heat holding Hamels, you know what I'm saying? All my ocean villains, 40s Redfern, Central Ave, Mott Ave, and Redfern, you know what I'm saying? That's what we doing.
So
And for
that's
those that don't
so
know,
that's the A train. Last stop.
That's a fact. My Hot Ave, Mott Ave.
You gotta go across that water. Gotta go across that water on that A train.
And that's a fact. That's definitely a fact.
I had to interrupt that one because you know what? When we used to play hooky back in the days, we would ride it all the way to 207 and then come all the way back to Mott Ave. So by the time you do that 2-3 times, the day went past. As long as the truant officers ain't catch you on the train,
that's a fact.
you play some good hooky that day. But I don't advise the kids, don't play hooky. Don't be like me.
Don't do that.
Stay in school. Stay in school. You know what I'm saying? So Akskills, damn, where do we begin? Far Rock America. The first person I ever heard say Far Rock America was rest in peace, the Lord Superb. Did he make that name up?
Huh?
He made that name up, right?
It's fair to say that. It's fair to say that because it was a name pretty much that, you know, we got a lot of names out there. You know, you got Far Rock America. Then we might call it Father Rules. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of different, you know what I'm saying, different names and things of that nature for the rock. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Six Barrel. Some people refer as the Six Barrel by YGs, a lot of Y Strong. Big up to my YGs out there. You know, they call it the Six Barrel. You know, so, but I like to refer to it like my man Purby Platinum said, rest in peace.
Purby
Far
Platinum.
Rock America. Word up.
So y'all don't believe y'all queens, right? Like y'all own thing. I heard Stack Bundles say before, we ain't queens. We our own thing. Y'all, do you feel like y'all queens?
No, I mean, to keep it a buck with you, Doggie, I disagree with that.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, Far Rockaway is in the barrel of Queens.
Right.
And you know, and you dig it, and I got love for the whole Queens as a whole. You know what I'm saying? From Far Rockaway on the QB and over there by Southside. You know what I'm saying? Then we can't forget about Elmhurst and Corona and all that out there. So, you know, the whole Queens as a whole, you know what I'm saying? It's just a beautiful thing. So that's why I never referred to it like separating ourselves. You know, we a peninsula. You know, we out here surrounded by bodies of water. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that. You know, but other than that, you know, I like to say, that's why I always say, if I'm not saying Far Rock America, I say Far Rock Queens. You know what I'm saying?
Got you, because that's what the A train say. Far Rockaway Queens.
That's a fact.
So y'all, Far Rock Queens has Hollis. You know, the stars from Hollis, the LL, the Run DMC, Southside. You got Nikki. You got G Unit. You got 50. QB. We already know what QB got. We got Corona. G-Rap. Then we got Flushing, Mike Geronimo.
It's about
Royal Flush, Mike Geronimo, and Large Professor. Large Professor, that's what I meant to say.
Large Professor, that's a fact. Seen the God recently, too.
So we got, Far Rock got some people, too.
That's a fact, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you got the Akskills coming out here. You got my man King Streets is doing his 1-2. You know what I'm saying? Strong, big up the rest in peace to the Stack Bundle, of course. You know, it's the Stack Bundles. Rest in peace to Chinks. You know what I'm saying? That was my dude, too. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to Purby Platinum, man. You know what I mean? So
that's three big people right there.
That's a fact.
And don't y'all got Father MC, too?
That's a fact. Can't forget about Father MC.
Can't forget about Father MC.
I like how you said that.
Father MC. And MC Search be jacking Far Rock.
That's a fact too. Even that's a fact. I was just gonna say, you know, because I heard the joint a long time ago when he was like on the streets of Far Rockaway, Queens.
Right.
But I never seen the God out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I heard he from that particular area down there. You know what I'm saying? Word.
And then we still have some more living. Shout out to Bino, Riot
True,
Squad.
true.
Shout out to
From my
Core
building,
2G.
411. Shout out to Riot
Shout out to
Squad
Core
right on up.
2G.
Uh-huh. Core
Pacino.
2G. That's a fact.
My little bro, YRS Bugs, aka
Okay.
Bugs Baguettes. That's Pacino little brother. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact. I
Yeah,
know Books, matter
right,
of fact.
right,
That's a
right.
fact.
So he
And that,
YRS Bugs now. So you know y'all had some heavy hitters coming out of Queens too.
that's a fact, man. You know
Far
that, you know what I'm
Rock.
saying? That's a fact. Just putting on for the barrel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Word up.
So your journey started when?
Okay, I'm gonna say my journey started. We gonna take it back to the golden era. Started about '96. You know what I'm saying? I was signed with an independent label. For those that don't know, it was called True Criminal. You know, strong big up the True Criminal. You know, I had 3 singles that was out. One was called Nights of Fear. That was produced by my man Buckwild from DITC. Strong big up the
My
Buckwild.
brother.
I had another joint called Check the Flavor that my man Law Finesse did. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Funky Man Productions. Seen Law Finesse not too long ago. You know, that was a 12-inch single that did well through the moms and pops record stores. You know what I'm saying? We did the Stretch Armstrongs and Bobitos. A lot of brothers know me from the Stretch Armstrong and Bobito show. Teddy Ted, the Awesome 2. You know, Mayhem and Riz. You know, and the second single I dropped was a joint called One Life to Live. Pardon me, One Life to Live. You know what I'm saying? My man Eddie James had did that. We went to Jersey City with that. Flex got a lot of rotation from Flex with that. We got a lot of rotation from Stretch Armstrong. Stretch Armstrong was really like our go-to man, because you know, once basically, you know, I went down on the underground and really got busy down there. When then they had the plug with Hot 97 coming on Sunday nights from 12 to 2. That's all this on. All this information, by the way, is on YouTube too. You can check that out on the Akskills freestyles too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And one of the last joints that I had pushed out was a joint called If It Ain't One Thing, It's Another. We went back to Buckwild for that joint right there. Only thing about that one right there, I didn't get a chance to really promote it too well because I had got bagged, you know what I'm saying, with a drug sale. I caught a charge, you dig what I'm saying? So I was really off the set for that. And it actually was on a True Criminal compilation album. You might remember 50 had that joint. I got my knives in the house. It's bad news. So that song right there actually was on that True Criminal compilation album, along with Akskills, along with FT, along with the Godsons. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how it was going. You know, we hit the Source magazine, 9-6 short shot singles, March 97, Independence Day. And other than that, you know, rest in peace to my other manager too, Bill Blast. He had me around.
Wow, that's my bro. That's my
Yeah,
bro.
from
East New
start,
York.
you know what
East
I'm
New
saying?
York.
That's a fact. Rest in peace also to Mike Beck too.
That's my bro. You know, that's my
Come on,
brother.
dog.
Yeah,
You know,
that's my brother right there.
Listen, man, we really in these streets. I used to get to smoke them over there.
Right.
Crescent and Pickett, Chestnut and Pickett, that good
Right.
chocolate. You
Yeah,
dig what I'm saying?
you said chocolate. That's some that's that Brooklyn shit right there. That's that chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
Come
Again,
on, you know
yeah.
that.
So
But you know, but like I said though, man, you know, but back to what we doing, like I said, that's where a lot of people pretty much know the Akskills from. And that's how we doing this, man. You know, we back. We working on an EP right now. It's called Better Late Than Never. You know what I'm saying? So dudes can check that out. It's gonna be on all platforms in a minute. And that's what we doing, you know what I'm saying? And getting in and staying in contact with good dudes and commentators and commentators such as yourself, man. You know how we doing this.
So let me ask you something. Is your previous works on the streaming platforms?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Spotify, what's that? Amazon Music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All
You
the
know,
DSPs, all the DSPs.
yes, you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
So that's basically what we doing, man. You know what I'm saying. And like I said, man, strong big up to you again, man, for having me on the platform. You know.
Let me ask you something, because you said the
Yes.
golden era, and we know around that, from that time to like 9 Deuce to like 98.
Okay.
No, we could give it 90. I would say 91. You know what? I think it started. Golden era might be What the Album On. What you think?
Okay, I would
Redman?
say.
What you think? What you think? Redman On?
I would say if I had to categorize the golden era, I would say maybe from about 92 to about 99. That I would say that, like going into the, you know what I'm saying? Because the 90s was definitely that golden era. You had a lot of good artists that came out. You know, what I really respect about that era was, you had a lot of artists that had good bars back then. You know what I'm saying? It was when we focused on good music, good concepts. You know what I'm saying? These days it's just like, no respect, no disrespect to nobody, but it's like a lot of the content that's coming out is bogus, man. You know what I'm saying? And you had different crowds for different people.
Right.
So I understand that too. So I'm never gonna, specifically throw no shade at nobody or do none of that. But these days, what I'm saying, like I'm one of them dudes, I'm from that era, like with the Illmatic era, Reasonable Doubt. You dig what I'm saying? Where dudes really had, Big Punisher and rest in peace to Pun enough, where we used to break our necks and put them tapes in and record good bars and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like these days, I done heard dudes come up to platforms and be like, yo, let me hear something. And dudes be like, oh, I ain't even come up here.
I was going to segue into that because me starting the culture as a DJ, I remember if you couldn't rhyme, you didn't get that mic passed to you. Dudes is like,
That's
yo,
a fact.
if your rhyme was trash, dudes would snatch that mic from me like, yo, you up here playing. Ain't
That's a
nobody
fact.
playing. You wasn't allowed to be in no cipher. You was not getting on. And me being the DJ, if I was cutting the break and your rhymes was trash, we was like, yo, take that from him. You know what I'm saying? Yo, get that microphone. You come from that. What made you have that hunger out the gate?
Okay, you know what I think? What I think it really was? It was just my passion, period, just for hip hop music, period.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? Like, cause I always remember, like, even before I did Stretching by Beat, though, just listening to the artists getting busy up there. You know what I'm saying? Was a big inspiration. And then of course a lot of brothers in the street, you know what I'm saying? Because I was heavily, like I said, in these streets too, a lot of street ciphers, a lot of ciphers on Rikers Island, a lot of ciphers up north. I ran into, some dudes up top that's crazy. But my passion for it was just just being a true lyricist, man, where you could just grab that mic and just control an audience. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, coming from neighborhoods where we come from, like you said, man, if your shit ain't on, if your joints ain't correct,
You might get punched in your
gonna,
face. Or you
you know what
might
I'm
get
saying?
punched in your,
So
like, dudes would really be like, yo, you playing. Ain't nobody playing. That
that's a
shit
fact. You know
and
what I'm
dudes would
saying?
tell you
That's a
it's
fact.
trash, right or not. Come on, man, that shit weak.
That's a fact.
Any famous ciphers you ever been in?
Yeah, I'm gonna say one of my best ciphers would be in Greenwich Village Park. It was actually with ODP, rest in peace,
Ooh.
and it was with the Jizza. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That was they were down there during like the weed fest type shit,
Right,
where they was
right.
dropping the weed and all that. And we had a crazy little cipher that was ill. Then there was another one up in Harlem on Harlem Week. You know what I'm saying? At Harlem Week, you know what I mean? Where actually Kane was there. Kane was there like overlooking the battle. You dig what I'm saying? And that's what brought us back to before where I ran into Kareem Davenport at. You dig
Right,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Because
that's my bro.
he
Yep.
happened to be one of the spectators at the battle. And I never forget when I was breaking out, you know what I'm saying? The guard ran down the block like, yo, what's happening? Boom, boom, boom. And that's how I had a little brief deal with Cold Chiller. But Cold Chiller was playing games though. That's what they was doing. They was
Rest in
definitely
peace to
60,
my
64.
big homie Fly Tie. But yeah, he just passed away. That's the big
That's a
homie.
fact. Rest in peace, Fly Tie, too, man. Because they had a lot of good artists up at that label, too,
Right, right. So any battles?
Okay, I'm saying like
Or you had dudes shook. They ain't even want to do it. Keep it
no,
real.
I'm not gonna say it from that aspect. It was a lot of, it was a lot of just dudes going around, passing it back and forth, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? As far as like famous really battle, I ain't really battle no too many famous dudes because I'm on some Grand Pooba shit, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't diss nobody to be somebody. But
Right.
if you throw a dot though,
Right.
two, three coming back at you though. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I had a lot of, what I'm saying, local battles in Far Rock America, you know what I'm saying? But so that's pretty much where kind of I gained that momentum at too. Cause that's what I was always one of them dudes, spitting in ciphers. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we was at with it, we was there. Me and Perb had a lot of great ciphers. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
And Scott Kane, you know what I'm saying? Like you mentioned earlier, Pacino, you know what I'm saying? We have some good joints. So, that's pretty much how I pretty much moving on that aspect right there, Word.
Let me ask you something. You being in the culture for so long, is it ever times where you quit or wanted to quit?
I'm gonna say no. You know what I'm saying? You know why I say that, Doggy? Because
Mm-hmm.
like at the end of the day, I know I got a couple more hits in me,
Mm-hmm.
and we gonna keep it right, keep talking that good music, spitting them good bars out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a market, you know what I'm saying, for the, I'm pretty much appeal to that. I would say maybe 25 and up market. You dig what I'm saying? And for the most part, but I'm gonna say no, the passion is just in me, you know what I'm saying? Like, we live, breathe, and eat this hip hop shit. You dig what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's just in me, Pause.
And reason why I'm asking you that is because the way the culture goes in these waves, See, back then you had to be nice, you had to have a connect and a good demo. Now you don't have to have none of that. You got to have good social media. So has that turned you off a little bit from the
No,
way the business? Go ahead.
No, actually, excuse me for interrupting. That's rude, pardon me.
No,
But
but go ahead.
no, actually, I like that because
Okay.
with these different platforms that's going now, see, you remember back in the days where we had to really, said like you said, run around and really shop to get a deal. But I like the platforms, you know what I'm saying? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, where you can basically put your content or your music or whatever on these platforms, and then different you can have your audience selectively reach out. That's what I'm in the process of doing, like building my fan base.
Right,
You dig
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
And I would say right now, really where I'm getting the most hits would be Instagram. The Akskills Instagram is I am Akskills.
Okay.
And the Facebook is Akskills Far Rock. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you can catch me out on that and catch some latest content from the God. And like I said, it's been coming along. But back to your question, I think it's a beautiful thing. You just have to use this content in the right way. See,
Right.
that's what I see a lot of brothers doing up here when they be doing these interviews. See, I'm the same dude downstairs in front of the building as I'm up here on the interview.
Right,
You
right,
dig it?
right, right,
You
right.
can't be up here on these interviews, man, speaking out of turn and, saying disrespectful shit out your mouth, towards other niggas. That's how a lot of bullshit be starting
Mm-hmm.
through these platforms. So, but I feel though, as long as you use it in the correct fashion and, everything is everything. That's how I look at that.
So production, you came in the culture with the top of the top. Buckwild is my bro. I toured with him in 1992 on the Source tour. Matter of fact, it
Beautiful.
was me, Lord Finesse,
Wow.
Buckwild, OC, Organized Confusion. I can name the
Ooh.
names, but that's the first time I heard Big L. Lord Finesse played him on the tape.
That's the
You know what I'm
beast.
saying?
Word
Rest
up,
in peace to
139
Big L.
Linux. Uh-huh.
So you came in the culture with went on to be one of the top hip hop producers of all time. Production now is not the same as it used to be back then. I remember back when the beat came on, you was just like, oh, nah, I got something for that. Are you still moved by the production the way you used to be?
Yes, because like, why I say that? Because some of my favorite producers, you know what I'm saying, is Primo, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Lost Professor, Pete Rock, you dig what I'm saying? We can't forget about Q-Tip. And then you got a lot of other you know what I'm saying, up and coming producers out there, Scram Jones, you know what I'm saying? So you
That's
got a
my bro.
lot of up and coming producers out there, man, where I just really feels that it just really depends on what direction the artists want to go in. You dig what
Right,
I'm saying?
right,
Like
right.
because if you on that drill rap, shit, then that's gonna be a different vibe that they got different producers for that. You know what I'm saying? I would like to categorize myself like in that bracket, like just good reality bars over hard beats. But we got a variety of different things. I got a joint called Love My Females for the ladies, so
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be like the album gonna be like a variety of different content on there. We gonna have the street shit. Then we gotta make some commercial shit. You know how that go. We gotta make some shit for the ladies. We gotta have some shit. So it's gonna be like a well-rounded album. And the way I want to do it was I would like to go to a lot of different producers. Like, cause I feel if you deal with different producers, that the album will sound better versus like having one producer produce the whole album. You
Right,
dig what
right,
I'm
right.
saying?
Not unless they're very
So
diverse. They're very
yeah, you know what I'm
diverse.
saying? So that's how I would want to definitely do that. You know what I mean?
Dream collaboration is what?
Okay. Right now, okay, my collabos, who I'm feeling right now, I would say, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, doggy, on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to basically with the EP that was dropping, which is better late than never.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I want to do that like as a solo joint. You know why? Because it's like I like to establish myself as like a solo artist. You dig
Right,
what I'm saying?
right,
Like
right.
to build my own identity. You dig what I'm saying? And shout out to shout out to True Criminal on that one. Cause I remember they told me that a long time ago. It's good, you know what I'm saying, for an artist really to identify with their own identity. That's why a lot of record companies may keep artists apart from each other.
Right, right,
So
right.
you know what I'm saying. So the look is different, the style is different. You know what I'm saying. But as far as collabos is concerned, I would definitely love to do something maybe with like on that Gazelle divide, maybe with Benny the
Mm.
Butcher or one of them or Conway or one of them. You know what I'm saying? I like tough boss bitters. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Word.
right, right, right. So, your energy is infectious. You got me ready to just punch a hole in my own. Your energy is
That's my
infectious.
shot. That's my shot.
I never asked nobody for this,
Go ahead,
but I
God.
like the energy, and it seemed like you on the spot. You got a 16 for me or something like that, 32, 48, whatever you got. I take it. I take it.
Okay. Oh, check this out. But check this out, right? We gonna do this like this, straight up, man. For my man Doggie Diamonds, man. I told him, man. I said, yo, fuck the police and foul assholes, lame ass niggas and jealous racist cracker CEOs. I throw blows like my man Tyson with the ice on. I put my dick right in your girl's mouth with the lights on. This the right song, it's dropping hot. I get grimy like a fiend with a shopping cot and pop a shot and leave the crew in the parking lot for talking hot. Because it's real on these rugged New York blocks. Thug until I drop. I floss hard. My attitude is shitty like a nigga that lost his job. I leave it scarred. I bogard with a strong aura. Destroy your city like Solomon Gomorrah. Rep big like Yora. Tear your horror up a full clip. Your rhymes are like Chinese food, nigga. Full of bullshit. I pull quick when I reveal it. A shot to hit your ass so hard, you and your workers will feel it. You ain't built for this battle, you and your bum bitches. They the type to point me out in pitches. Running with snitches. I leave stitches from your ear to your mouth. I'm airing you out. I dare you even step in this bout. What's it all about? A showdown? I'm low down. I might fuck around and kick your dough down. Put his dough down. Me and your hoe down. I stuck it in her guts. Push dick in her mouth, pussy and butt. Cause she's a slut. Fucking with Akskills, I'm hard fighting. You niggas need to stop talking and start writing and stop biting. When I'm reciting, I leave crowds captivated. You whack niggas hate it. Cause this smart black nigga made it. Front of facts, I stated I think quick. The only thing I respect when I was up north was a pink slip. So shut the fuck up, I see digits. These niggas burn bridges. That's why your money's short like midgets. I pull a Ruger, let's have a slugfest. Are you the type of nigga so dumb you study for a blood test? The black Elliot Ness with his collars up. I throw a bomb in your wake and blow the funeral parlor up. I keep my dollars up in cash tight. Picture a nigga smashing my mic. That don't even sound right. I'm downright dirty when I'm gunning the heat. Something to see. Filthy like a bum in the streets. For me and my sons are deep. You better watch it, mister. We might pop your sister. We ever take her like a fever blister. A chick try to get fly, the I can diss her. And I make sure my dick gets sucked before I kiss her. I ain't got no love. Strictly money and drugs. Running with foul thugs that'll put two in your mug. These niggas beg so much your hands are like cups. And I done had a few niggas chicks lips and out these nuts. You niggas a butt. You really don't want it. You couldn't say a hot rhyme if your life depended on it. Jewels, I flaunted an ill fashion. I'm the coach like Phil Jackson. And you niggas, I'm still smashing. You ain't proper like a fraction. And while you tricking your money, I invest in assets and keep stashing. Checks I'm cashing. Buying coke by the ounce. If you don't feel like skills, make like a basketball and bounce. Your words mean nothing when I'm rapping. Cause I'm the type to make things happen while these niggas talking. Watch what's happening. Boss, Mr. Akskills, man. You know how we
Yo,
doing this. My
see,
man,
this is what
Doggie
I'm talking
Diamonds.
about. He didn't even know I was gonna ask him to rap. So I just asked him to rap, and he rapped. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say to all MCs out there, please step your lyricism up. Right
That's a
there,
fact.
I heard schemes, I heard punchlines, I heard metaphors, I heard raps. That's that rap. That's that
No
rap I
question,
like
God.
right there. You know what I'm
No
saying?
question, God. And I appreciate that. And I just want to say once again, it's definitely a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, we was chopping it up earlier
Right,
about some
right.
real shit, you know what I'm saying, which is cool. And it's good. I like to be on real, real platforms, man. Because, I see a lot of these platforms today where it's just a lot of, like we talked about earlier, a lot of bullshit. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Even the content they talking about is just straight whack. And it's just like niggas is up there talking shit that they got no business doing. And that's why we seeing a lot of this shit coming through your news feed when niggas getting
Right.
smacked and punched all in their
Right, right,
grill.
right, right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Stop pump
Because
faking,
it's
man.
a
You know what I'm
world
saying?
outside that leave when you leave the internet, you gotta walk outside. And that's where some of us really, really rule outside. You know what I'm saying? The computer thing is one thing. But
Uh-huh.
when we go outside, that's why you be seeing dudes get kicked in their ass and caught out of pocket because something they said on the computer. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's a fact. And that's why, like I said earlier in the interview, you want to be the same person that you downstairs in front of the building with or in front of your crib as the same person on these podcasts. You dig what I'm saying? And that's how I always been. I told homeboy that when I was on his podcast, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna always just, come with the real, because like I said, I might like in the words of the great prodigy, we might crack a smile, but
Ain't
ain't
a
a
damn
damn thing
thing
funny.
funny.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't shit funny. You know what I mean?
When could we
Word.
expect this project from you?
Okay, well, check it out. But I'm in the process. Like I said, the project name again is Better Late Than Never. I
Hmm.
would say about roughly about a month, maybe about a month to about 2 months. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Okay.
getting everything together and it's going to be on the platforms and streaming and things of that nature. Even though I was just talking to how even that stream money ain't really no money. You dig what
Right,
I'm saying?
right,
But
right,
that's a
right.
that's a different subject for a different day. You dig what I'm saying?
Your social media, make sure you plug that one more time.
Okay, now check this out. Once again, I'm saying the Akskills social media. You can catch me on Facebook at Akskills Far Rock. You can catch me on Instagram at I am Akskills. I'm also on TikTok, Akskills 777s. And and also on YouTube. You check me out on YouTube, put in Akskills freestyles and check some of them bars out, man. You know what I'm saying? Word up.
Before we go, I like to educate people that might not know the business a little bit.
Okay.
And you have the experience. What was it like to sign a record deal?
Okay. Well, to be honest with you, first of all, it was a beautiful thing.
Okay.
Number one, let me say that because it felt good to be respected for your craft, and then to hear your joint. When I remember I first heard my joint on Hot 97, it came on right after MOP. You know what I'm saying, with
Mm,
Flex and Flexing on, and I was highly open behind that. You know what I'm saying. But what I would advise a lot of dudes, especially my young brothers coming up, and that's what I did with the label too.
hmm
You don't just put your John Hancock on anything.
Right.
And that's why you see a lot of these dudes up here, you know what I'm saying? It's fine. I can't get out this contract and do. Listen, because that's what I did with any of these record companies. You know what I'm saying? Like
hmm
when True Criminal came to me, and they came to my house literally, Doggie down with a full contract, clauses, everything in it. And I basically looked through it, but I told them, like, yo, listen, I'm gonna get back to y'all now.
hmm
And then with a lot of brothers that we had back then too, had good books I read. I read a good book by David Hassan. It was called A Book of Music, where
hmm
it broke down royalties, it broke down percentages of managers. But overall, and to make a long story short, you basically want to watch what you're dealing with. You
Right.
dig what I'm saying? Because this rap game is just like the streets. You come across a lot of cutthroat motherfuckers that want to tie you into shit, and then you might get yourself in a situation where it might be no homo pause, extremely hard for you to get out of that.
Right.
And then while these litigations is going on, also you can't put no music out. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what a lot of artists have to understand. So I would say my word would be stay focused on your passion, what you got to do, and definitely watch what you signing. Contract agreements, you know what I'm saying? Manager agreements. That's what I loved about Rest in Peace Bill Blast, because when I got a chance to bump into Blast, Blast didn't even come at me with no contract and none of that. He just said, yo, I know you gonna get busy. You gonna do when you get that deal, just break me off some of that, like a
Right. Right.
finder's
Right.
fee type thing. But I had big respect for that man. Had me around the likes of Rakim. We did BT Uptown, Mount Morningside Park. I never forget that. That's what I meant to also say too. That would have to be one of my big highlights too, doing BT with Rakim. You know what I'm saying? And they did some bullshit and cut my freestyle, And then later on in the game, I found out when I took my man P Live to Hot 97, they cut my man freestyle.
Right. Right. Right.
So the
It
shit went,
happens. It
yeah, the
happens.
shit
Yeah.
went up, you know what I'm saying? But that's the main thing I would definitely say, man. Watch what you putting your John Hancock on. Watch what you saying up here on these podcasts. You know what I'm saying? And that's really the main thing right there. Word up.
So, if I call your line and I be like, "Yo, bro, what you doing? Let's go live. Let's talk about it."
Yo, listen, I'm definitely with that.
Because I like
I'm
the
definitely with that.
energy is what's needed. Some dudes be too cool, man. I don't be liking that cool shit. I'm trying to
Yeah,
come up here and be cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only
yeah,
cool motherfucker here. Because what it is, I'm feeling the passion.
no
And
question.
I think that that's missing from the culture. Somebody who love it so much that it just radiate through the screen. And I can't wait to hear what you got. I can't wait to hear more raps and all that. And that's missing. So I'm happy that you still was able to maintain that through the
No
trials and
question.
tribulations of the music business. You know what I'm
No
saying?
question, because it's definitely a cutthroat game, and you
Woo!
know that shit.
Right,
Cutthroat. I mean, we could be into tomorrow morning talking about all the greaseball shit.
right,
That's really going on. But like I would just say, like we said earlier, I would just say also with the game, it just depends on also you want to make sure your surrounding is good. See, a
right,
lot of people, a lot of shit goes down too because like I'm just like you, God. I keep a real small circle. Individuals that's with me that eat with me is the individuals who you'll see me with. But don't get me wrong though. Everybody needs somebody. You dig it? Because I've heard people make that statement like, yeah, well, I'm just gonna do this. Listen, everybody needs somebody. You just have to just count your blessings and hope that somebody that you run into ain't police, ain't working with the feds, and ain't snitching, and basically just real at whatever they doing, whatever type of business y'all doing. Because that's what's fucking the game up too. You got a lot of that shit going on running, have high ratting running around here. You dig what I'm saying? So I definitely, watch what I say as far as, on these phones and all that shit. You dig what I'm saying? And that's a fact.
And I want to say, big up to your representation because they are relentless. I don't want to put the name out there because I don't know if they want it, but they are relentless, and I love it because I do so much sometimes and I get absent-minded. But
Okay.
Akskills representation stayed on me. Like, yo, this, that, and the third. And everybody, please find a representation that love you, care about you, and genuinely want to see you win. And this man representation want to see him go to the top. They are relentless. They gonna make sure all his affairs is in order, everything that need to be sent, every piece of literature, every video. That's what everybody needs. So he destined to win even more because the people that's in his corner is relentless. And I'm like, yeah,
And that's a
see,
fact.
I
And I want to
love
give it, and
this.
I want to say, I want to give a strong big up, my manager, Envision. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Strong big
right.
up to her for making this happen too,
Listen,
also.
goodness
And
gracious.
just staying true to the culture, what she is anyway. You know what I mean? Because the wisdoms I keep around me, wisdoms out there for those is females, but the
Right.
wisdoms I keep around me, you know what I'm saying? Got makes you knowledge itself too. So, we got that's how we doing this, man. Look for that Akskills EP coming real soon. Better late than never. That's how we doing this,
And reason
Word
why I
up.
had to big that up is because, again, for me, that's somebody that's everywhere. She spent the block. Yo, don't forget our conversation. I'm like, you know what? Let me figure out. And we here. And again, I appreciate her for doing that because again, it's very,
No
very
question.
vital to everybody's cipher that you got somebody that believe in you. And
That's a fact.
even if people want to say, oh, they're annoying, this, that, and the third. No, that's called wanting to get it done and make it happen. And we here. So it
That's a
all
fact.
the end justify the means. So yo, bro, I appreciate you. Well,
No
yo, when I
question,
hit you
dog.
and say come back, man,
No
don't
doubt.
yo,
Listen, my brother, I would love to come back. You dig
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Excuse me, we're gonna have some good content for you. And like I said, when you get a chance, man, and you're not doing, I want you to check some of that material out because your
I'm
boy
gonna
been
look at
busy,
that.
man.
I'm gonna look at
Word.
that. And again, I want to come back when you finish the product so we can review the
Okay.
product and go through the product with the people.
Bet.
If
Bet.
you
I'm
drop
with
a
that.
record, no matter what you got, do that. And again, the first pinned comment on this video is gonna be his Instagram. So I want y'all to follow him. Uh it's there. He sent me video of him rapping BT freestyles a long time ago and all of that. And the bars was always there. There ain't never
That's
been
a
a
fact.
time. I ain't never heard nothing weak. And you know, I'm a tough critic. I be like,
And you
yeah,
know what? I appreciate that.
yeah,
And
you know me.
and
I'm
I
gonna
knew
keep
it
it.
was going. I knew it was going to pop because I know
Yeah.
because I like brothers that appreciate that good music. You heard?
Right,
That's a
right, right.
fact.
And then again, like I said, I'm a show and prove right now in front of the audience where I could go to the text and show y'all and the stuff that you sent me, you said is on the internet?
Yes, actually, the last what I had sent you was the last freestyle I had sent you was at up at Rappers Out of Control. That was actually like about a month and some change ago up at Sirius XM, and that was Shade 45. You know what I mean? And the joint I sent you from back in the days was
Fat
actually
Beats.
Fat
Fat
Beats
Beats grand
grand
opening. That's
opening.
it right there. Yeah.
That's a fact.
So yeah,
And that
look,
was and dog, you know what's beautiful about that day? Because there was a lot of brothers in the building that day. You had Akskills in there, Law Finesse was in there, Percy P was in there, uh Kanye West was in there. You dig what I'm saying? So it was that was a literation, as they say.
no, you definitely
Word.
shot. Is this on the internet?
Yes, that's on YouTube. You can catch that on YouTube under Akskills Freestyles.
I skill
AK
freestyles.
SKILLS.
That's gonna
Word.
be pinned too. So yo, I appreciate you. We gonna make
Okay,
sure
my
we
brother.
circulate, make sure everybody up on you. You know what I'm saying? And you
No question.
definitely, you've been diamond tested and you passed. You know what I'm
No
saying?
question. And
You've been
that's love.
diamond tested and you passed. So
No
again,
question.
I appreciate you. Appreciate your representation for making this happen. And bro, you got the number. You got he got the direct line. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
We
fact, and I
don't do
appreciate that.
DMs. Yeah, we don't do
That's a
DMs.
fact.
We
That's a
got
fact.
he actually has my phone number. So for
No
my
doubt.
family to yours,
No
please y'all
question.
show him love. He's been in the culture for a while and he's still striving for perfection in this and he putting his best foot forward. So
No
if
question.
y'all support, you know, I don't even co-sign nothing,
No, and I
but
respect that. I
I'm
respect that, my
co-signing
brother. I
this. You know
definitely
what I'm
respect
saying?
that, man. And respect that. And before I do get out of here, I just want
Yes.
to say again, strong big up to my man Doggie Diamonds once again. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all check my man platform out too. Strong big up to the whole Edgemere, PJs, Never Ocean Bay. I'm gonna say Heat Hall and Hamels, all my Ocean villains. I'm gonna say the whole 40s, you know, Wade Crest. And of course, we can't forget about Let Burn, Rev Burn. You dig what I'm saying?
Big up
Word
to the whole
big time.
Far Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Word, the
Shout
whole
out to
Far
Far
Rock
Rock.
America as a whole. Word.
All right, I appreciate you. We build later
No
on.
question, God.
Yep. All right, peace. So,
Peace.
yo, yeah, man, if you want to know how to get interviewed on Doggie Diamonds TV, just hit me up on IG at Doggie Diamonds. You want to hop on this special offer. This is a 35-minute interview that includes a social media promo. It could be live stream with tape. I prefer tape. And an additional guest could be in your interview. Until next time, you already know where you see that logo at. Make sure you click the logo so you can subscribe. And the 2 related videos, make sure you click those because that's more content. I had Akskills in the building. What y'all know about that? And don't forget,
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Did you hear what I said? I said, this is what I said.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Gangster.